All right, well, good morning, seventh graders. We are continuing all along here in chapter 2, lesson 3. A couple set of directions that we're going to look at today. Write the fraction or mixed number as a decimal. Write the fraction or mixed number as a decimal. So when we take a fraction, we want to write it as a decimal. Remember, the idea is a fraction is just a division problem. So if I have 5/8, this is the same thing as saying, well, 8, or, sorry, kind of messed that up, 5 being divided by 8. Now I know that 8 can't go into 5, so here's where the decimal comes into play, that we make it 5.0. I put the decimal straight up. 8 cannot go into 5, but 8 can go into 50 6 times. And I know that because 6 times 8 is 48. Well, that leaves me with 50 minus 48, which I know is 2. I added 0. That does not change the value of the 5. I drop it down. 8 can go into 20 2 times. I know that 2 times 8 is 16. I know that 20 minus 16 is 4. Once again, I'm going to take the decimal, I'm going to drop it straight down. Gives me 8 going into 40. Well, 8 can go into 40 5 times. I know that there's none left over because 8 times 5 is 40. My final answer, 625 thousandths. That's taking a fraction, turning it into a decimal. So, here's one that looks a little different. It's -5 and 7/12. Well, I'm not going to worry about the 5 because I know that it's just going to end up being 5 point something. What I'm worried about is the 7/12, which is going to be 12 going into 7. Well, I know that 12 can't go into 7, so I'm going to have to add a 7.0. Put that decimal straight up. 12 can go into 70, I'm going to say 5 times, because 5 times 12 is 60. Well, 70 minus 60 is 10. I add a 0, I bring it down. 12 can go into 100, I'm going to say 8 times. Okay? So we're going to put an 8 here. I'm going to run out of space, which is going to be interesting, but we'll deal with that later. 8 times 12 is 96. 100 minus 96 is 4. I end up with 4. I add another 0. I bring it down. 12 can go into 40 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. 40 minus 36 is 4. You see what's going to keep happening is I'm going to keep getting 40, 36, 40, 36. So this 3 is going to keep on repeating. So I put a line over that 3. But I can't forget about the negative and I can't forget about the 5. So I know my final decimal is going to be a -5 point. Then I bring in this 583. 583 with a line over the 3 to show that that keeps repeating. All right, moving right along. -5 over 9. So this one's going to become 9 going into 5, or 5 divided by 9. Well, once again, I know that 9 can't go into 5, but it can go into 50. 9 times 5, we'll clear ourselves a little space there. Okay, 9 times 5 is 45. 50 minus 45 is 5. So I can see the pattern that I'm going to get. When I add a 0, I'm going to end up with 50 again. 9 can go into 50 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. 50 minus 45 is 5. What's happening here is going to keep cycling, which means I just put a line over my 5. When you put these lines, 7th grade, it's very important that the lines only go over the part that repeats, okay? So like in this first one, we only put the line over the 3 because it's the 3 that repeats. Here we just have a 5, and so 5s are just going to keep on going. and it's the 5s that repeat. All right, last one here for this section, 27 over 25, okay, which would essentially be 25 going into 27. Now I'm going to clear ourselves some more space here, okay, just to kind of give us some room. 25 can go into 27 once. 1 times 25 is 25. 27 minus 25 is 2. Well, at this point now I have to add the decimal in because I didn't need it with the 27. The decimal needs to go straight up. Okay, I need to drop this 0 down. 25 cannot go into 20, so I've got to put a 0 there. All right, because it's subtract, bring down, divide. Well, I know that 0 minus 25, or sorry, 0 times 25 is 0. 20 minus 0 is 20. So now, when I add another 0, I will take it and bring that down and have 25 into 200. Well, I know that there's 4 quarters in $1, which means 4 quarters make 100 cents. So it would make sense to say that 8 quarters make 200 cents. And I know that 8 times 25 is 200. My final answer, 1 8/100. All right, moving right along. Second section of what we're doing today, we're breaking up lesson 2.3.